Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anup Kokne, and here we discuss about the Indian stock indices. So what we'll do today is we just finished with the expiry of FINIFTY. We'll close with a quick analysis of how FINIFTY did today, and then we can start looking at how Nifty and Bank Nifty did, and also what we can expect Nifty and Bank Nifty's behavior for tomorrow, right? And also we'll look at the option chain on how the option contracts have been built for tomorrow. So with this, let's get started with FINIFTY. So what I have put across is the intraday chart on a 3 minutes time frame with the CPR. So if you look at it, pretty much like the past 2 days, so there has been a zigzag, I would say. What's happening is either the price is opening a little upwards, then sliding in the entire day within a specific range, and then at the end of it, in the last 30 minutes, you get to see there is a good spike where the price starts gliding upwards with 70, 80 points, or then you get to see it's sliding down. If it's been opened downside, then it starts sliding down further with another 50, 60 points, right? So that's been the trend that I have been watching for all this week almost. So FinNifty opened pretty much at the CPR levels, and as anticipated and based upon the experience, whenever the price opens at the CPR level, which is mostly the equilibrium level, there is no control that's been taken, or there is no specific interest in both the bulls as well as bears, right? So both of them would be just playing it like very much like a tennis table tennis match, I would say, not even tennis, right? So it's very much within the range. I think the entire day until 3 p.m. we saw it been trading in a very good range, and those who would have done a delta neutral strategy would have definitely made good. And then suddenly at 3 p.m. This usually happens, right? So in the last 30 minutes is when the pros come and start bringing the prices to their fair value, and that's exactly what was done, and where the prices ended exactly at the previous day high. Right, so not much of a net movement if you look at Nifty. It was good to trade today, except for the last 30 minutes. But I was a little smart. I just played in, the strikes which was far away, though it was just few bucks. I didn't want to take risk as I was not trading full time and I was just watching in between. So still probably I made some 0.25, 0.3%. I'm playing very defensive in this month. I just want to see playing defensive, without any losses, and try to see how much I can make, and uh, how it would look like if I'm very defensive in the markets, right? So that's my motive or objective for this particular month. So I'll not be playing anything aggressive, right? So no straddles, strangles far off with delta 0.13, 0.12, or even 0.11. I want to just play them with large volumes and see how things will play around. And will I have still the losses, or I'd be able to manage with only green for the entire month is what I want to, try and test for this particular month. So that's my intention and objective for this particular month. Now, we'll not spend too much of time on FinNifty because FinNifty we would not be touching until probably Monday, or rather Friday. We will start looking at FinNifty from Friday. Okay, so we'll get to Nifty now. Oh God, what to say about Nifty? Nifty started. Nifty Nifty was very funny today. I mean, just looking at the charts now, and trying to understand who has made the money today. Probably the directional people would have made some money in Nifty. Definitely not the one who would have played the neutral strategies in Nifty, right? So it started with taking in a support from previous day's low. It took resistance at the CPR. Then it was pushed down, even closing below the support too, right? So this level, I think, has been a level which we didn't see for quite some time. 18,530. I think this is a critical level. Probably we'll start looking at the higher time frames and get an understanding. And then from there, you get to see that again, it's been pushed across to the CPR, right? So it tried going upwards of CPR, but again, there was a sell off and we closed exactly at CPR. So there is not much of a momentum if you get to see, but Nifty had been interestingly trading in a good range, if not as bad as the Bank Nifty and Fin Nifty within a very small range. I think 620 and then 540 is definitely 100 points is very big range for Nifty, right? So that's interesting to see that the price started moving downwards and again it was taken upwards for to the point where it started, right? So not much of a net movement. Let's look on the daily candle. Oh goodness. If you look at the daily candle, I think I mean, I will be even scared to say it as a doji. I don't know why the zoom is not happening on my screen. Yeah, it's happening now. Okay, I'd be scared to even say a doji. It's a gravestone doji rather, right? So now if you look at this, it's very interesting as a candle, right? So there has not been a net positive or a negative movement. It exactly opened and closed it where it was. But look at the length of the movement, right? So there's such a long wick that's come in. This is going to be a very critical support. There are so many buyers. I would say this is definitely a strong demand zone on Nifty, especially looking at this particular point. And then this particular point, I think this was something that we tested last time at 450. So this is another key point, which can give a good bounce back, or probably no. I think I'll probably put it here. Yeah, 483 and 527. So this 50 points is a good demand zone, I would say, right? So a lot of buyers are sitting here to buy on dips and then pushing it upwards. And the resistance, as it has been for quite some time, 18,650 for whatever reasons has been holding in a very strong resistance. Now, if this doesn't break in the next few days and move upwards towards the all-time high, looking at the recession news and all of that that's floating around from Germany and European countries, I believe Nifty will definitely have some you know uh, bad sentiments, and then you start looking this prices to be sliding downwards, and we may get to test this 18,300 again. So it's very important in the next few days to watch Nifty if it breaks this 18,650 or not. Breaking it is very important if we have to see a positive momentum in Nifty moving upwards, right? So that's how I see it. Let's get quickly onto the intraday time frame and see on hourly chart. Hourly chart, the last hour has been the bounce back, the complete bounce back from the EMA. I think people those who would have shorted it below this EMA are all trapped, and they had to book in a lot of losses here. Okay, so this last hour definitely is a large candle. If you look at this candle, 625 to 557, 75 points in the last 1 hour, right? So it has been just a one-sided momentum that happened in the last hour. Oh, that's very strange. I would say it's not even 1 hour, right? So it's probably the last 30 minutes, because you have the six candles and this is the seventh candle. Yeah, last 30 minutes. Okay, let's get on to our key time frame of 15 minutes on the intraday. Wow, look at this. It's so interesting. Now, let's zoom out. All right. So now if you look at it, there is definitely a bearish sentiment that's getting to be seen here, right? So if you look at this high, and then you get this lower high now, right? So this particular point is very important. Now you again saw some resistance because this was a level which was also arrived last time, but there was a good selling momentum that came until the next 100 points, and again there was a buying momentum that was seen. So this key level, let me put it in red. So this is a level which we need to be watchful, right? So 18,600 is definitely going to be a very, very key level for Nifty. Yeah, if this particular level is broken and goes upwards, at least we get to see some 70 points. Otherwise, looking at the current way the things are shaping up, it doesn't look like it would go upwards. Rather, it looks like we may see a down movement. Cool, Boro. Cool. Oh, yeah. So this trend line is okay. So this is very important now. I would say, the price, the moment it breaks up, either it gives a breakout or breakdown on either sides, probably we get to see some momentum, right? That's how it looks like. We'll have to again see, because if you look at the RS is pretty much pondering around the 50-ish range, right? So unless it gets over 60, you don't get to see a positive momentum on upside, or if it gets below 45, I think this breakdown would have happened on this particular level of 18,550. So 18,550 is a key support, and then I would say 18,600 is the key resistance, right? So price in between this 50 points is what it will play for some time, maybe tomorrow, and then once we get a breakout, probably we can see another 60, 70 points, traveling on either sides. That is a possibility which I get to see. Okay, let's look at the CPRs for tomorrow. If we get some hints on the prices, definitely the lower value relationship with a normal with CPR. Interestingly, the price is still above CPR, so it's a mixed view. We'll have to wait and watch. If the price keeps hovering here, then probably 18,600 is gonna be a level at which we will close for tomorrow as well. Otherwise, as we saw on the higher time frame, it's pretty much the levels what we can expect, right? So 650 and 500 are definitely going to be key levels. So probably I'll play a straddle tomorrow on Nifty. at 18,450 and 18,700, right? So I just need a couple of bucks. I'm very defensive this month. All right. Okay, so interesting. This is on Nifty. Let's look at the option chain. Option chain on Nifty. Let's refresh. Okay, fantastic. So if you look at the total volume of contracts, it's 15 lakhs on calls, and then it's 13 lakhs on puts. So 2 lakh contracts are more on the call side. But if you look at the intraday movement change, it's not much. I don't know why intraday momentum is not too high. I think it's only the positional players, probably those who have been playing, you know, with this option contracts. So 18,600, which is the ATM level. Wow, a very good level to close at. If you look at the puts, we have 193,000 puts, 220,000 calls. It's a very good volume that's been traded today. 47 lakhs and 45 lakhs, right? So a huge volume of contracts have been traded at 18,600. But if you look at the intraday change, there is not much. There has been unwinding that's happened in the ITM calls and ITM puts. Uh, Interestingly, 18,500 has an unwinding on even on the put side. Okay. Now, if you look at the max contracts, it's again at 18,500, but there is a little bit of unwinding. There has been a good volume. I think people have moved in the contracts from 500 to 550. That's a good sign on the bullishness. But 600 has a very good resistance. Now, after 600, you get to see 18,800 has the highest OI, but 18,700 is not much behind. So 18,600 and 700 could be two good resistances. Yeah. And then 18,500 is a support. So that exactly matches with what you got to see on the price action. I'm sorry, I'm down with a little cold. Oh, okay. So Bank Nifty very much similar thing, but it was not as aggressively sold as it was sold on Nifty. So it took the support at the first level, support one, and then it bounced back to R1, and then it is in between this CPR and R1. So Bank Nifty is a little bullish in comparison to Nifty, right? Let's look on the hourly chart or the daily time frame and see how the daily time frame looks like on Bank Nifty. Oh my God, it's such a Lilliput. No, 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 sorry. It was something else. Wow. Even this is a similar doji, but with a little positive close in comparison to Nifty. Again, Bank Nifty is also very much trading within this consolidated range. As we know, this particular range, let me change this into green. Okay, so 43,700 and then 44,500, right? So this has been the levels for quite some time now. Neither the bulls nor the bears have any interest to challenge any of these levels on the upside or downside. So they're happy trading in between. So we also will be happy trading in between. Support and resistance levels are very much within this, right? So yeah, I don't think so. There is anything much that we could decipher from the charts here. Let's get on to 15 minutes chart. Wow, look at this. Oh man, this one candle has been 150 points. Okay, interestingly, the lower high has been broken in Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty can show a little positive movement maybe for tomorrow. This can be a good support line for tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I'm just drawing an upward trend line. Oh, sorry. Okay, so if price starts coming downwards, this can be a good level of support. It's 44,100, and then this should be definitely 44,000, right? So yeah, 44,100, and this could be the another support level, which has been marked at 44,000. Yeah. So 44,100 and 44,000 on the downside and 44,300 on the upside. And then we have the all-time high at 44,500, right? So let's look at the pivots for the next day. Okay. So the pivots are overlapping, right? So I would say it's unchanged rather than overlapping, right? So it's almost at the same levels, but with a positive close on the price. So that's very interesting to see. Yeah. It's almost unchanged. So probably I expect a better momentum to be seen in Bank Nifty in comparison to Nifty for tomorrow. If we have to look at any directional play, probably Bank Nifty would be a right instrument for tomorrow, right? But again, it's within the range. This range is very important. 44,300. If broken, it will definitely test up to 44.5. Otherwise, I think it will be a time correction at this levels of 44,100 before it slides down to 44,000, right? So, yeah, either 200 points downside or 300 points upside could be the momentum in Bank Nifty. Let's look at the option contracts and try to match our price action behavior. Okay, so 12 lakh calls, 10 lakh puts, good number of puts been written, 112,000 puts and 3,000 calls been unwinded. Now, if you look at the max OI is at 44,200. That's what we got to see as a resistance. And then 44,000 as a support, key support level, right? But we also see some concentration at 44.1, which is not very strong in comparison to the calls and puts being written on the either sides. There are just 106,000s and 79,000s here. But puts are good in number. I think 44,000 should provide a good support for tomorrow. So 178,000 puts and then 101,000 calls. Otherwise, I think people are betting upon 44,500 to stand safe for the weekly expiry, which is 100 lakh 18,000 contracts. Not many contracts being written here, right? So I think 44,200 would hold as a resistance and 44,000 would hold as a support for tomorrow. That's how I read this. So the verdict for tomorrow, Nifty is definitely within a smaller range in comparison to Bank Nifty. I think 500 and 700, very much similar to what we had as the levels of yesterday, should be in range for Nifty. If I have to, I mean, I'll probably be trading into Nifty. I would be trading at 18,450 or 500 strikes on the puts, and then I'd be trading at 18,750 and 700 calls on the 700 strikes on the calls. Bank Nifty looks to be a directional candidate, but we will have to wait and watch. And the opening on Bank Nifty is very important. If it gets a gap up, then probably we can get to see 44,500. Otherwise, there would be a time correction which would bring down the prices to 44,000. So that's my point of view for tomorrow, right? As a quick conclusion on this, there is no point in trading in FinNifty because we would be building in the option contracts for tomorrow, and I'm not very comfortable trading in FinNifty at least for tomorrow, right? So maybe Nifty is the right candidate for me for tomorrow to be traded, but I'll wait for Bank Nifty as well and choose in between these two, depending upon my mindset to trade directional or non-directional, and then I'll be playing in accordingly. So that's all for today. Thanks very much for hearing in, guys. I wish you all a good night and good luck for tomorrow. Cheers. Bye bye.